Gemini, what's going on? It's your girl D here with 8th House Energy, here to do your Silent Enemies reading for November 2020. I hope all is well with you guys, and make sure that if you haven't already subscribed, to hit that like button to like the video if it resonates. But make sure you subscribe now. You don't have to wait to do that. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. I post weekly. So if you're already subscribed and you don't see my posts, unsubscribe, refresh the screen, resubscribe, and hit the notification bell. That should work, all right? So this is the Silent Enemies reading. This is a reading that is put out here to help you to pay attention to your intuitive nudges that you get, especially around people who are closest to you. Friends, family members, business partners, best friends. I said friends. You know, people that you deal with on a regular basis. It could be your kid's teacher. It could be your babysitter. But it's people that are around you and you're getting a weird vibe from them. You don't know if it's because of you or it's because of something going on. But, you know, the people closest to us are the ones who we can fall victim to the most. So we do need to be careful and pay attention to people and find out if, what their intentions are, and pay attention to how they treat us, right? We're ending a lot of karmic cycles now with the new moon in Libra, the super new moons that just passed. The first one was the one in Libra, the new moon in Libra. Then we had 2 full moons in Scorpio season in October. We had the Aries full moon as well as the Taurus full moon. And right now, where I'm at, we're going into the new moon in Scorpio energy. And then at the end of November, we're going to be getting a lunar eclipse. So we're tying up a lot of the karmic energies from karmic connections that we were supposed to come out of over the last 10 years, especially over the last 2 years, whatever karmic relationships that went on longer than they should have. So if you look back at your life in retrospection, you'll realize that for those of you who are ascending, that the last 2 years have led you up to this point. The moves you made, the things you did, it led you to this point where the karmic connections that are in your life have to come to an end. These are relationships that are in your life to teach you a lesson about yourself. Doesn't matter if you marry this person or not. A lot of people marry karmic partners and don't know it's a karmic. They think it's because we've been together 20 years, that's not my karmic. But it doesn't matter. If the lesson took you 20 years to learn, or there were multiple lessons you had to learn, which is why it took 21 years, once the relationship is done, it's done. So people need to understand the difference between, a really a karmic relationship where you're in this person's life to learn something, or they're in yours to, teach you something. And then once it's done, it's done. Because no matter what you do with those connections, you try to work them out, they won't work. And that's when you know, okay, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I have to walk away. I can sleep with a clear conscience saying I walked away. So we're in those energies right now where a lot of us have walked away, and we are, in that residual energy, like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm going through changes, major life changes. So you need to pay attention to your intuition right now, because you're very sensitive right now. And this is also a magical time for manifesting what you want in the coming 2021 year. Okay, so tie up those karmic energies. Now I got 3 cards out here already because I started doing your reading and the damn camera went off. We're still in the last week of Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, right? And then didn't Mercury go retrograde? Okay, so it was in Libra first direct. Then it went into Scorpio. Then it went retrograde in Scorpio. I don't know if it went retrograde in Libra or not, because if it did, then that makes sense why my camera cut off as well. But I know we're in the last post-shadow week of Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Anyway, that's why the cards are out. If you guys are familiar with the channel, you know I shuffle on camera. But we got 3 cards here. So we got the King of Pentacles here, okay? Taurus energy. We have the 9 of Wands energy, Sag. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy. So this, I started talking to you about this, but this is the King of Pentacles. I'm just going to repeat everything I said. So I feel like with this energy, this is the kings are about taking action. For me, that's how I read a king. Okay, kings are yang energy. They're all about action. So they're, whatever it is that the feminine energy is thinking of, whatever the intuitive energies are going on with the queen energy, it's manifested in the action of the king energy. So this is Pentacles. So this is action of putting time, effort, and energy into something. Long-term stability, long-term growth, financial growth, long-term security. Okay, so this is something I feel like for some of you, you're applying for loans for houses. You're applying for loans for vehicles. A lot of people are applying for loans right now because a lot of people are leaving karmic partnerships, karmic relationships where they lived with people. And so now a lot of people are selling assets. A lot of people are looking to buy homes, looking to rent apartments, looking to buy cars. A lot of people are relocating. So a lot of people are doing things with long-term investment. So this is taking action, putting into a long-term investment, meaning that you may have to take out a loan where you're going to have to pay that back over a period of time. So I feel like mortgages, because we're dealing with Taurus. Taurus deals with real estate. See this guy here in the picture, he's standing by a house. All right, here's the King of Pentacles. So some of you, you need to be careful who this real estate agent is. Some of you are going on vacation too. Somebody might be selling you timeshares. I used to sell timeshares. I used to work for Fairfield Resorts, and I sold timeshares in Alexandria, Virginia. Anyway, I digress. So you need to watch this person who's selling you whatever, whether they're selling you the vacation timeshare or, it's like, for example, some people don't go to Priceline and they prefer to go like Liberty Travel. Remember those travel agencies that would be in the malls? Well, some of them are still there. So people are doing this. They're going in and they're booking their cruises and all that type of stuff through a person face to face. So I feel like you just need to watch this person. They're coming up as a silent enemy reading, in the silent enemy reading for something. I feel like it could be the rates are a bit inflated. And as far as, what they're putting you in, the package that you're putting you in, don't try to go over too high with the package, even though you can afford it. You want to try to stick below your means with these purchases because a lot of these are long-term purchases and they're going to be paid off over a period of time. And you never know what the economy is going to be like moving forward with these new changes, so you don't want to bite off more you can chew. So please be careful. That's what I'm getting for a lot of you. Some of you are looking for apartments. Talk to the landlord. Make sure, this is somebody who, is not wishy-washy. For some of you, you need to be careful with that. But a lot of people are moving and relocating and filling out for loans for cars and all this type of stuff. Read the fine print. We're still in the last week of Mercury retrograde. Read the fine print. Now, we have the Nine of Wands energy. This is Sagittarius energy. Okay. So, with the Nine of Wands, we're looking at, I feel like this is, you feeling guarded about something. Your intuition could be telling you to feel guarded about someone or something. Okay, because this is the Moon in Sag. So your intuition is telling you something. Like I said, we're all like drowning in these lunar energies here because we're trying to sort our emotions out about these situations we've come out of in the last 2 or 3 years. So we're all coming out of that Mercury in retrograde energy in Scorpio where we were, our hidden feelings about the situations, especially if they haven't been resolved, have resurfaced for us to resolve it. And with all of these lunar energies looming in for the end of the year, this is energies that's helping you to get rid of that. That's why all these planets were in retrograde, for us to all stop and reflect about the people, places, and things that we're involved in and then make the necessary changes so that we can go into the new cycle, which is 2021, with all of that shit cleared out. So I feel like you are feeling very guarded. I feel like a lot of you are feeling kind of apprehensive. You don't trust anybody right now. And, it's interesting because Sagittarius is your opposite energy. So you're tapping into your Sagittarius energy, but you're tapping into the negative side of it. How can I explain it? Okay. So let's just say, here we go. Opposite energy. You can't even see this. Okay, let's use this glass. Opposite energies. So you have the top of the glass here, which is Gemini. So all of this up here from the top of the glass to where the line of the water is, that's all Gemini. Your opposite energy is Sagittarius, which is from the bottom up to where the water is. So you're Gemini. So you're going into your Gemini energy, and you're tapping into the lower energy of Sagittarius. Because if you turn this cup upside down, the water would be on top, hypothetically. And so that would be the higher end of Sagittarius, right? So in order for you to get to the high end of Sagittarius, you have to go into the low end of Gemini, come out of the low, and then go into the low end energy of Sagittarius. And you'd have to come out of the low end of Sagittarius by coming up. I don't know if that makes sense. But at any rate, this is the divider here between you two. And I feel you're resonating in these energies. So you're feeling guarded. You don't trust anyone. I feel like for some of you, you don't want anything. I feel like you fought a lot. Oh, you got me stumbling over my words here because you're very emotional here with this energy. So you have to be careful. Or this is someone that you're dealing with who's very emotional here. You see how he's sitting on this mount here? And he doesn't, I feel like he's surrounded by feelings and emotions with that water there. So he's on solid ground here. But emotions are going on all around him. And so he's guarding himself from that. Like, he's not letting his feet hit that water. He's like, I'm not going to get emotional. And so I feel like you guys are fighting your emotions. You're fighting something that you have to deal with. And you can't fight it but so long because you're at a number 9. You're going to have to deal with those intuitive, those emotions, because we're in too much lunar energy. We're going to be in it until the end of the year. So you're going to have to let go and explore those emotions. And it's only going to help you. So don't fight it. This is what I get. I feel like this is you fighting your emotions, and how you feel about the situation, because you don't want to deal with the pain. It could be too intense for a lot of you. Then at this point, this is where you would want to seek, an astrologer who can help you understand your chart, so that you can understand your path and why you had to go through certain things and why you experience these things, so that you don't experience it in the future. Because when we're tying up karmic cycles, once you tie these up, you're not going to experience this energy anymore. You've learned the lesson. So if anything remotely close to what you had before comes to you again, you will know it right away and you'll cut it out right away. You won't explore it because you already know where it's going to go. But you got to deal with your feelings. You got to deal with your emotions. So some of you may need to talk to someone. So, I don't feel like you should be ashamed of that. I think that shows character and it shows strength that someone knows what they need and they're going after it so they can take care of themselves. Like, that is, to me, that's very noble and honorable, because not only are you taking care of yourself, you're taking care of the universe as well, because when you get yourself right, you're a more productive person out in the world. You're not out here causing conflict and mayhem because you're hurting on the inside and you don't have enough wherewithal to try to seek some guidance. You don't even have to go outside of yourself if you don't want to. If you're one who wants to go within, then meditation might be good for you. Working with crystals might be good for you. But as long as you're, if you can use external sources as reference points and resources on how to go within, but the end result is, no matter what's given to you, therapy, astrology, working with crystals, Reiki, you have to be willing to change. And you can't be willing to change if you don't accept that there's a problem. Some of you are fighting your emotions. You're fighting that there is a problem here. You know there's a problem. It's like you just don't want to deal with it, is what it is. But you're at that 9 of Wands, so you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to put that burden down. It's getting too heavy for you to carry all of this. You guys been through a lot. A lot of relationships, a lot of key relationships, okay? This could be 7, this is the 9 of Wands, so it could be 9 key relationships that you went through, whether it's family members, business owners, business colleagues, co-workers, where you had all these karmic connections, and what it is each of these wands represents the fact that you didn't learn the lesson you were supposed to with the first person. So the universe sent another person. You didn't learn that lesson, another person. You didn't learn that lesson. And so all of this water has been created now. All these wands. Okay, because you didn't put the fire out of these wands. You walked away. For a lot of you, you just walked away and left these connections. Some of the lights are blue, some of the lights are yellow. where, you know, maybe you left a few, but then, you know, there's some of them where there's still a flame. There's some where there's no flame. So this is you thinking about your emotions and your feelings in reference to, you know, the energy and effort you put into each one of these wands here. So yeah, you're going to have to, it's going to take you some time to sift through these. Well, you got plenty of time, you know. You got all winter. This is the winter of healing. I've been saying that in all my readings the last, you know, week or so. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles here. This is Virgo energy. So some of you, you know, you got a lot on your mind, okay? And you don't want to get overwhelmed because, you know, you're an air sign and you're trying to process emotions, and this could be very challenging for you. So this is where you would want to look for some, you know, look at some different self-help options, see what works for you. There's no one right or wrong way to you know, work on getting yourself to a point where you're balanced emotionally. So, you know, feel free to try different things, you know, whatever works for you is best for you. And you won't know unless you try. You don't have to share what you're doing with everybody. But if there's someone you can confide in who may, you know, take, you know, what you're going through into consideration and, you know, be a support system for you during this journey, that would be a beautiful thing. But I feel like, you know, you're focused. A lot of you are focused on, you're covering up your emotions with work for some of you. Instead of dealing with those emotions, you're trying to work. And that's not going to help you at all. This is why the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles is showing up in the Silent Enemies reading. Because you're trying to work to hide those feelings. Some of you may be having some issues at work. Maybe you can't focus because of what's going on. You can't concentrate on your work. Some of you write, okay? And you're experiencing writer's block. That's because you're going through karmic changes here. So some of you, you know, you're going to have to give it a little bit more time. Maybe once another Mercury position, once Mercury moves again. Let's see when the next time it's moving. Because it is your ruling sign. So that could have something to do with why you're having writer's block for some of you. Or you're not able to come up with content. You know, Mercury does rule communication, and that is your ruling planet. Where is Mercury? Mercury is in Libra right now, and it's actually Mercury's in Scorpio now. Okay? It's back in Scorpio and it's going forward now. So it's going to be there in Scorpio until December 1st. So the rest of the month. Okay? So, you know, we're dealing with hidden feelings, hidden emotions. Okay? So this is what you're dealing with right now. Hidden feelings, hidden emotions. You know, all that water, all that fire. Okay? Those are the emotions. And I feel like you're trying to work to keep your mind off of that. Some of you are concerned about work. There could be something going on at work. Some of you, like I said, one of the things you could be experiencing is writer's block. That's for some of you. Others of you, something is your focus. Your focus is off. You're not able to concentrate on what it is you're doing. Some of you are having problems completing a novel or completing some type of project or dissertation of some sort, or if not a dissertation, if not a book, a magazine, some type of article. Some of you could be doing some research. But I feel like you have to be careful what you write. Yeah, I feel like that could be a problem, whatever you're writing, because, you know, this is the 8. 8 is about manifesting. So, you know, some of you may be considering writing a book. That would be a really excellent idea, especially if you've been through some things. Definitely write a book. But I think what would happen with writing this book is some people may be offended. So I think that's why that's shown up as a silent enemy. Some of you may have been ignoring the idea of writing a book, which is why this is showing up as a silent enemy. Because this could be a lucrative opportunity for you. It could provide you that financial stability that you're looking for. Yeah, so that's what I got for you. Yeah, that's what I got for you, Gemini. So let me know if this resonated in the comments. Make sure to click like. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make sure to come see me in the extended. The link's in the box below. If I don't see you there, I will see you in the next reading. Peace out, Gemini.